All right, we're down to week 9. It is much easier to answer these in video, so I'm going to do the Module 9 project reflection questions this way. So for the first one, to discuss your receptiveness to feedback, I'm honestly my own worst critic. As an artist, I'm very bad at that. I do like constructive criticism because then it's kind of positive. You know, it's always good to try and improve yourself. But when it's very negative, I have a hard time with that. You know, normally something with a positive spin tends to work better. The feedback you gave me on my resume to use icons, I actually used it for this past assignment, and I hope it improved everything. You know, because it was actually a really good idea. It was kind of a pain to find everything, but, you know, we made it work. I like offering feedback to people, but I also try and put a positive spin on it because everyone's trying to improve. So I have no problem giving feedback, but I don't like being mean or negative when I do it. I think it's good to say, hey, you're doing great with something, but, you know, you may want to try this or you may want to try that. Like when we were critiquing some of the demo reels, this one person was doing stuff with logos and everything was kind of the same thing over and over and over again. So, you know, I suggested different ways to change it up. You know, just so it didn't look so repetitive, you know, because you want to make certain things stand out. You don't want it to look like it's the same thing. As far as doing things in regards to design, I'm very good about being consistent where like the design flows where I can use like the same color scheme and stuff like that very well. I tend to have a really good eye for making things balance on a page really well too, or things like flow in that regard. And I'm getting better at typography and stuff too. As far as developing stuff with design, I think I need to push my boundaries a little bit more. I tend to be a minimalist, and sometimes I tend to not want to push beyond that, you know. So, you know, I don't like to go kind of beyond that because it's where I'm comfortable. So I definitely think, you know, trying to play around with things more, you know, using different color spectrums I may not necessarily have tried before, playing with, you know, crazier fonts, you know, doing more things kind of outside of the box, so to speak, I think would help. You know, I have no problem being an artist and working in a medium that's not widely expected, and I have, you know, I taught myself how to do that. And no big deal with that. But when it comes to some of the design stuff, since I'm still learning everything, I try and stick to what I know because that's where I'm comfortable. And that way I can get used to it. But now that I'm getting better at it, you know, I feel that I need to start stretching my legs with it a little bit more. You know, I definitely need to get better at doing some of the stuff with the web coding. I don't do it every day, and I think that's part of the problem. You know, and I've noticed that when I host separately, like not on our SOTD site, but I host on something like Bluehost, I don't run into the issues I do with hosting stuff at the school, and I don't know why. So it's kind of frustrating. But other than that, you know, I think it's just going to be trial and error. You know, it's going to be working and seeing what works and what doesn't, and we'll take it from there. I mean, that's how cool art happens. So hopefully that answers your question, and that should be it for today.